let's move into where Salesforce overlaps this mission statement and what do you use it for? How's it helpful? And how did you get introduced to that?
We use it just in the what I assume is the traditional functionality
Hmm.
of the kind of the CRM component.
Okay.
So we have some leads that or prospects, I should say, are put into the system from our Salesforce admin. And then also I can manually put stuff in if I maybe meet somebody at a chamber
Hmm.
event, it's a good example, or if I'm driving around and I see there's a lot of cool businesses here in the Brazos Valley. So we enter them in and then you can call and you can update. So what I imagine in my limited use and experience is the very mainstream, bare bones, mainline functionality of tracking prospects. So for me, relatively new to my industry, relatively new to sales. So I'm calling people and you want to be reaching out, but it's very important to follow up and remember what was that person's name or who did I talk to? So entering that information in to the system, following up, setting reminders of, hey, I talked to this person, I'm going to reach out to them, or they are interested in some information. So I'm going to maybe go out there and drop stuff off. So that's how I've been using it, introduced just from this job. I hadn't used it before. And I think Unique is relatively new in the Salesforce world as
Mm,
well. So we as an organization have some maturing and learning to do. And then I certainly do as well.
great. So let me clarify.
Yeah.
We see a lot of different models of how Salesforce is used, really just a
Mhm.
few different patterns. And one of those patterns is single department use. And the opposite extreme of that pattern is everyone in the company uses
Yeah.
Salesforce to run every single department. They're interconnected. Now, on that single department use, the most common department, which is a single department use, is the sales department. Because it's called, for one, we have a naming convention issue where it's called Salesforce. I think it really started in sales. So we do see that pattern quite often. Is that y'all's case where you really use it for the sales function of the business?
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, we're the only people, sales team, and maybe some marketing people because they'll upload some information to Salesforce
Hmm.
you can access. But to the best of my knowledge, that yeah, it's mainly just salespeople.
Okay, great. And you mentioned that some of the leads are in Salesforce come from an external source,
Mhm.
but there's someone entering those in. Do you guys have any automation in terms of leads automatically being put in through some external system like a marketing system or anything like that?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. I think we have some of our leads, I think, come from related to like health insurance.
Mhm.
We provide medical insurance. We have another bad pun. We have a unique way of
Okay.
administering and offering those benefits. So there's some paperwork that's filed that becomes public knowledge related to renewal dates. And my understanding is those are manually pulled and entered. And I've since learned from talking to some band jacksters that there is a potential of automation. And I believe there's even some things that in my role that I could automate that I need to become aware of and learn. But yeah, right now, as far as I know, it's pretty much all manual.
Great. Yeah, you can see how once you start to connect the dots, it can grow.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it can, okay, now that you've got your marketing sending leads in for your sales department, once those close, do you want that information automatically going to accounting? And so there is a progression of sort of the takeover where you could eventually get to this situation as a business where you're completely operating within Salesforce.
All for it.
Okay, great. Well, maybe we can see this happen with you guys and help in any way we
Yeah.
can. But so since you're relatively new to Salesforce, have you jumped into any of the training? What have you learned about what can be done from your side?
Yeah, I have not jumped in enough to the
Hmm.
training. I'm in that stage where I'm doing I don't know, the baseline stuff to get me through. I need to take some time to learn. There's some automated things I could do or some better ways. The times that I have tried to utilize a resource that's literally just me Googling it, which usually
Hmm.
leads me to Salesforce documentation, which I've found as a novice Salesforce user can be a little, I don't know if overwhelming or just a little confusing because there are so many modules. And then there's, I guess, a newer version of Salesforce, and there's like Lightning, and then there's this other one. So I'm like, I don't know which steps am I supposed to be following here. Like I was trying to like update my email signature in a template or something, because you can email out of Salesforce.
Right.
I am using that. That's not advanced, but advanced for me. I'm using that feature, and so I wanted to update. And I've learned that Salesforce has, I think, some training material, videos, and like whole library of stuff. But yeah, right now it's me Googling. I think I've looked at some YouTube videos. So not leveraging the options as much as I should.